This is the account where Xilonen has a really good chance to shine, but it is gonna take quite a bit of work. I spent every primogem possible, and we were just barely able to get this girl. So we are going full free-to-play build in that I will be using the Natlan craftable sword, which begs the question, what do we need for that? We need 10 of the fruit thing, the grain. Oh, it is actually a fruit. Well, that should be easy enough. I know normally I don't like pulling the same new 5-star across different accounts because you've already seen this on Geo only, but because of how differently she plays with mono Geo or an entire team of different elements, I felt like it would just be really good for this account. She is basically a second Kazuha, which I've always said that I want. So while our Geo-only Xilonen will probably be a bit more DPS focused, this one can be full support. Let's go ahead, grab this weapon, and can I actually craft it? No, I cannot. Now we did just have an entire video over on Geo-only of building Xilonen, so I don't want to center this too much around doing the same thing. Although, like I did say, this is a completely different build, but the building process is still very much the same. I also might have made a mistake because I don't know if this team can destroy the stuff in the middle when it spawns. I don't know how I always forget that. Oh, we actually might be... Oh, might not be okay. How do I hit the floaty ones? Oh, okay, I could kind of do it, but I don't think it's going to be in time. Oh, we just barely do it. Give me a sword blueprint. The dream solving could be good. I bet you this thing would give one of the sword blueprints. I just know that as of right now, I do not have enough for whatever it is. Ooh, that's actually pretty early on. We might need to go collect some sigils. And actually, that might work out perfectly because we also need to take out some of the enemies to get the whistles. So allow me to go ahead and begin that process. Exactly 60 sigils later, we can go ahead and get our blueprint. And I'm aware that I probably could have converted a different one into this one, but where's the fun in that? So now, in order to craft this weapon, we just need 25 more of these. The place that I remember seeing the most is underwater in Fontaine. Although I say that, and then I can't find a single one. Oh, wait, I found some. Ideally, I would like to max or find this weapon at some point, so I'm gonna have to start farming these kind of regularly. Although I already know that with my memory, I will keep forgetting to do that. But as they say, it's the thought that counts. Although, if I forget, then I'm not thinking about it either, so there is no thought to count. Refinements aside, though, we can go ahead and craft our first version of the Flute of oh boy. The Flute of Espitzel, or as I will refer to it as, wait, no, you can't do flute. Isn't there a weapon called the flute already? Yeah, we have the flute already, so I can't even call it that. All right, then. You know what I'm going to call it? I will call it Xilonen's weapon. Guess who has none of these drops? If you guessed me, you would be correct. I gotta be honest, I've done this on one account. I don't remember what you have to do. Can I just swim? No, we are not allowed to dive into the pool. Do I have to start the quest over here first? I really didn't realize that this weapon was going to require me to do a world quest to unlock the one spot where these enemies spawn. The dude they call idiot. Wait, they stole my name? Here we go. The first of many that we have to defeat. And by many, I mean not that many because there's only about 20 that can spawn in your world at any given time. You know, I guess I could technically go into co-op and go into a world that has this unlocked so I don't have to do it again. That might not be the worst idea. Okay, I made the executive decision to go into co-op. And I hope that this is worth it because I had to lower my world level on my main account to do this. Now we will no longer be stopped by unskippable cutscenes. I also spent such a small amount of time in co-op that I forgot I would be limited to 2 characters. And I also will not admit how long it took me to figure out how to go into co-op because the whole world level thing was really messing me up. I think I have collected pretty much all of them. But before we get out of here, I'm gonna go around it and steal some plants for myself because I did try to pull a Xilonen on my main since I thought she would go really well with Mualani, and I kind of lost the 50-50 to C4 Jean. So I don't think I'm going to be needing these in my main account's world. Now that we have returned to our own world, I need to make sure I am constantly spending whatever resin that we have. 2 things. First off, I'm sad that we only got 2 things, but the second thing is the burst from Kazu when time is frozen looks really cool, and the artifact that we just got from that fight actually rolled decent. With a bit more farming and crafting done, we can ascend Xilonen for the second level her up and the not third time. Hold on. Okay, now for the third time. For her weapon, the domain actually is open today, so I'm probably gonna have to crack open some fragile resin. It is nice actually being able to use Xilonen the way that she's supposed to be used, because obviously on our Geo-only account, we can't really do that. Although I guess on the bright side, it's kind of like two completely different characters. And with just that little bit of farming, we are able to get the weapon up to level 70. Also, I do have to say, this is such a nice feature that they added where you can sort by characters. Oh, dude, we got hit with the double whammy. Her talent domain is also open. I am going to burn through all this fragile resin. Oh, no, I'm just stupid. Like, yes, it is actually open because this one's available on Tuesdays, but I kind of have the Stellar Reunion event going on right now, which means every domain is open. Since that's the case, maybe I don't want to waste a ton of fragile resin because I could just continue farming this tomorrow. Oh, I cannot wait to do some damage tests here. Obviously, this domain boosts everyone's damage when you do some Night Soul stuff, but I was seeing us do double the damage of what we were doing before Xilonen was on the team. At least for today, though, we can bring the weapon up to level 80. I am completely out of these now. And then I can bring her talents up to, oh, actually past level 2. All the way to level 4. And I'm going to do the burst as well because I do want to increase the healing in case we want to put her on a Farina team. For the time being, I will ignore the normal attacks because that's not too important for her kit as a support. And the artifact situation is very obvious. It is the artifact set that I do not have. I don't have a single piece. Okay, this is how we get our pieces. We open these. Oh, okay. It is the correct set. It doesn't really matter. I could just put this on her. Obviously, we're going to want a lot of defense here and then probably healing bonus. But for right now, just getting a 4-piece for this set would be good enough. We are gathered here today for yet another day of building Xilonen. And the first thing that we're going to be doing is once again farming those golems. What's weird is I set up the book to track the golems, and after I killed one, it said that the current bounty had ended after one. Also, while we're here, we're gonna hunt down some of the local wildlife. All right, about a half hour of farming saurians in this world should be good enough, because if we need more, we could just farm them in our own world. So once again, we are out of here. Then after I crafted everything, we are indeed able to max out Xilonen's sword, and we'll bring it up to level 90. Oh, 69% defense. Nice. Since we do have double drops in these domains, at least for the first 3 runs each day, I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 runs in here and then probably move on to fighting her boss. There's boss takedown number 1 and number 2. I would complain about only getting 2 drops here because we needed 3 in order to ascend her, but we did get a gemstone, so it's kind of fair. 1 more boss takedown, and then we have everything for another ascension, which of course means more leveling up for the talents. So both the skill and burst are level 6. I'm going to see if we can get enough boss drops to ascend her another time. You know, while I was farming that boss, before we took it down by destroying the 2 pillars that it summons, when it was still in its resistance phase, basically, we were hitting it for about 4,000 to 5,000 per hit. And then I did a nice little rotation of everybody here, and we were hitting for like 11,000 to 12,000. So while I definitely don't know the best rotation for this team yet, it definitely seems to be working. I am unable to max Ascend Xilonen right now because I don't have enough of these, although I could go in another world to get them, but I don't have enough resin to get all the boss drops. So what we're gonna do is bring her skill hopefully to level 8, which we can just barely do. And now the only thing we're missing is a 4-piece of this artifact set, and we are in luck. The Spiral Abyss just reset, which means we can get some of the artifact strong boxes, because like I mentioned earlier, we are completely out of resin. So the only way that I know how to get these artifacts other than spending resin is either in the Spiral Abyss or trying to collect all of those bands to get into the tribal secret spaces. Not sure if you could tell, but my brain really struggled to remember what those were called. Let's just quickly skip over floor 9 because I doubt most people want to see that. To be fair, I should have swapped the teams around a little bit. Like if I'm trying to build 2 balanced teams, then I don't need all the best supports on the other side. But my goal here isn't necessarily building 2 balanced teams. I kind of just want to see what the most broken team that we can make is. And right now, I imagine it's some combination of these characters because for the time being, I can't even fully set up everything before the enemies are dead. But here we go with floor 11. Obviously, the monolith is up first, and I say obviously, but every time I come in here, I forget about it. Although first half of that was insanely easy. We only have 2 enemies on this side, and if we can just distract them from even hitting the thing in the center, we are good. Also, I will admit, this was supposed to be a Hyper Bloom team, but I forgot the Hydro, because the last 2 enemies on this side are those like local legend looking things. And since they are Hydro, in my head, I was thinking, oh, they're Hydro. I just need Dendro and Electro. Not sure how well this is going to work for the second chamber, though. But for once, we get a very easy monolith floor. So floor 11, chamber 2, what do you have for me? All right, these guys are not that big of a deal. Then 2 samurai, which are almost dead already. Never mind, they are dead. Oh, and then 2 big boys. Oh. Well, I made a mistake. It was actually completely intentional because now we're making even better time. Ready for this? Look at this damage. It's going crazy. It's actually kind of crazy. We only have 8 enemies on the side, but like I mentioned, I kind of didn't bring the right team. Aggravate is great and all, but our Alhaitham kind of has more EM. He is supposed to do Hyper Bloom things. Although surprisingly, this is still working. That wasn't bad at all. Oh, wait, we still have 1 more chamber. I was going to say that's the easiest floor 11 on this account in a long time, but I should not say that yet. Oh, I hate these things. They're so tanky, and it's actually not that tanky. It died pretty quick. Now this is why I brought this team, which has been working pretty well because obviously it was all planned out from the start. I just wanted to make it seem like I accidentally didn't bring a Hydro character, even though I actually did forget to bring one. But now I can say it. That was the easiest floor 11 this account has had in a long time. Now we all know floor 12 is floor 12, and what that means is I will probably be in great pain during this. Is this the thing that you want a plunging attack? Oh, and just for like in my defense, if this goes terribly wrong, our Alhaitham's weapon still needs to be upgraded. For a while, we were doing the spin the wheel thing, and I was waiting until it landed on him to actually upgrade the weapon. But I might just want to go ahead and take care of that sometime soon. There is a part of me that almost still wants to stick with the Aggravate team. But we will give Hyper Bloom a chance. Oh, and we get EM. It's honestly been a while since I used Alhaitham. Although perhaps that's obvious by the fact that his weapon is not leveled up. All right, Bird is dead. Ooh, Sacrificial Sword with max refinements is so good. That made our Xingqiu just insanely better. First half was not bad at all. Let's see how this second half is gonna go. Which this should be the side that's better because of all the supports that we have going. We only have 30 seconds left, which is not very good. Oh, and we're missing the artifact set for Xilonen. Like, that's why we're doing this, but I forgot about that. That artifact set would make her even better. Yeah, we're not doing this in time. We do get 2 stars, and I'm going to keep going just to get some extra primos. I think this first half is really knocking down our time, or I guess knocking up our time, because with some extra investment and a leveled up weapon, this could definitely be sped up quite a bit. And this is the plunging attack boss. Regardless of which of my accounts I play on, whenever this thing is in the Spiral Abyss, I do not 36 star it. This has got to be one of my least favorite things to see in here. Well, this and then probably the snake enemies. Okay, when a character dies, you're done. That's when you know to just back out. So with 3 artifacts, all the wrong set. Oh, okay, well, I'm keeping that, but that doesn't exactly help us. What I might do is just wait until we have enough resin to farm a couple artifacts. And I think we're going to take this healing bonus piece from our Jean because it has quite a bit of defense. And this is a character that appreciates defense, but not flat attack. So we just need to get 1 feather and any kind of goblet. Obviously, I would love to replace this and I would love to replace this, but as long as we get the 4 set, that's all we really need right now. We actually got a healing bonus on set. I mean, the substats weren't anything crazy, but still, that's pretty lucky. After our farming, oh, I was gonna say I wasn't able to fully max all the artifacts, but because of that multiply bonus, we are. So all of them are level 20, and the funny thing is the flower rolled so much into crit rate. It's always when I don't need it. They're not the best artifacts for her, but we pretty much just want this set bonus with a ton of defense. And then once we use our skill, our defense goes up even higher, so we do get over 3,000. Once I'm able to refine this weapon, we'll get a lot more defense when we use our skill. And in total, I do have 7 of the sword blueprints, although I have 0 dream solvent left. Unfortunately, I did just realize that we don't even have a 4-piece gladiator for this girl, so whatever damage we see won't even be our maximum. Oh, I'm stupid. I don't have her on a 4-piece. All right, her build is now even worse, but she is on a 4-set. If we want to test out the damage on this team, then ideally we want Xilonen to proc a crystallized reaction with Electro. I'm not sure if you can do that against this enemy because it kind of is always Hydro, but I will give it a shot. Yeah, pretty sure we just do Hydro, which is kind of useless for us. So we're able to see like 12Ks there, 13K. I don't think that that is the best enemy for us to do this with. Oh, okay, wait. We saw some 14Ks. I'm only continuing to fight it because I want my bursts back. Now, unfortunately, I cannot claim the drops from fighting Scaramouche again. And I am notoriously bad at doing the correct rotation for damage tests. But I figure I will give it a shot because we don't have to worry about having our bursts up during the end. Okay. We've taken him down. All of our bursts are going to come back to us. And now let's see how bad I can mess this up. We'll go with that into this to get the swirl. And then we'll do that and that. Please don't kill it. Sure, that's going to be the wrong element. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing, but we're hitting 21,000 on some of those. If I were to try to rebuild our team without using Xilonen, it would probably be this or swapping out Bennett for Kazu. So what I want to do is test out this team to see how much better or potentially not better the Xilonen team is. My concern is that this boss is going to die before I'm even done setting stuff up. And I don't know if there's necessarily a way to avoid that. So we're going to do this. I'm just gonna, oh gosh, it's already dying. I'm gonna use this into that, and then I'm not even gonna use my burst. And we're seeing, there was an 11K. The problem is if I try to use her burst to actually apply Electro and then swirl it, I'm just going to end up killing it. Okay, I have an idea. We come in to fight it. We use the burst immediately to then do stuff with Electro. We not do that. We do this. We do that. Then we do, I don't know what I'm doing. Don't die. Don't die. Don't you dare die. Don't you. Well, I guess we can try the Spiral Abyss again. I think swapping someone on this team for Cookie could actually be good because then it's more Electro application, more swirling, more crystallize. But also that would pretty much mean taking off Farina or Kazu, which are also huge damage buffs. So I'm just going to try to make this work. And let's see what we're doing. Ooh, 19Ks already. 20Ks. Okay, I mean, it's going decently. I still don't think we're gonna 3-star it. Oh, it's close, actually. Way closer than when we did it before. If I kept running it, I probably could actually 3-star it. I've somehow already forgotten what the problem was on the second chamber. Oh, I have immediately been reminded. Oh, that was so unfortunate. Once again, this enemy just sucks. But that first chamber was definitely a lot easier. Like I mentioned though, having Cookie on the team would most likely make this just easier to run overall. Because then more Electro application equals easier buffing potential. So let's see what we could do with this. We definitely see a drop off in damage without Kazu on the team, but that's kind of to be expected. Of course, we could also run this with a different character as the main DPS. Although I'm pretty sure we're going to end up killing this too quickly again. Well, let's see. We'll put up this. We'll do some of this. And then, you know, we just destroy it. I used Farina's burst, but I forgot to actually heal. I was just too afraid of accidentally killing it. But with this team in the main DPS slot, I feel like Ayaka wouldn't necessarily work as well because I really like running her with Cryo Resonance. Also, she would just struggle to get her burst without another Cryo character. Obviously, she works great. I feel like Kaching probably could work all right too. So in my opinion, these three would be the best to use in this slot. And what's really funny is with a C2 Xilonen, you can get Kaching's burst cooldown to 6 seconds. Essentially, just infinite bursts. Obviously, we don't have that here, but it would be funny. One more time, I just want to test the first chamber of floor 12, but this time with an Ayato as the main DPS. Let's see how this goes, because it'll be much easier for us to go ahead and get some hydro stuff going. Of course, these guys might have natural hydro resistance, which kind of sucks, but we're hitting 20Ks even here. Once again, we are missing out on our 3-star, but it's not that bad. And considering how much faster we were clearing that chamber 1 compared to earlier in the video just from building one character, I would say that Xilonen is definitely a big help to the account. It's also kind of crazy that Xilonen's energy recharge is not even touched, but I have yet to struggle to get her burst up. And honestly, if there's there's another Natlan sword character who can trigger Night Soul Burst, which would be any of them. She gets an additional 20% defense, which means she only stands to get even stronger. With that being said though, I need to wait until Resin refreshes. There's a lot that I want to do on this account. I mean, there's still a lot of characters we need to build and weapons we need to upgrade. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, I will see you all next time.